DevOps Guide, AWS Lambda, SQS, SNS, Event Bridge, AWS Lambda. Overview. Fully managed serverless compute service. Executes code in response to triggers/events. Supports Python, Node.js, Java, Go, .NET, Ruby, and container images. DevOps must know. Deployment. 1. Via CLI. 2. AWS Lambda update function code function name my fn zip file philip : function.zip. 3. C/CD integration. Use GitHub Actions, Code Pipeline, Terraform, or SAM/CDK. Monitoring and logging. 1. Integrated with CloudWatch logs. 2. AWS Logs Tail, AWS/Lambda/myFN follow. 3. Use CloudWatch metrics, invocations, duration, errors, throttles, permissions. 1. IAM role, execution role. Allows Lambda to access other AWS services. 2. Resource-based policies. Allow services like S3, API Gateway to invoke your Lambda. Limits. Item value. Max timeout 15 minutes. Memory 128 MB to 10 GB. Max deployment package, zip 50 MB, direct upload, 250 MB, S3, concurrency default soft limit, 1000, can be increased. DevOps tips. Use Lambda layers for dependency sharing. 2. Use versions and aliases for safe rollouts. 3. Monitor cold starts for latency-sensitive apps. Amazon SQS, Simple Queue Service. Overview. 1. Decouples microservices via reliable, scalable message queues. 2. Supports standard, at least once, and FIFO, exactly once, queues. DevOps must know. Key CLI commands. AWS SQS create queue name, my queue AWS, SQS send message queue URL, less than URL greater than message body, hello AWS, SQS receive message queue URL, less than URL, greater than monitoring. CloudWatch metrics. 1. Approximate number of messages visible. 2. Number of messages sent/received/deleted. Integrations. 1. Lambda Polar, automatically triggers Lambda on new messages. 2. EC2/ECS workers, manually pull queue. IAM and security. 1. Use resource-based policies for cross-account access. 2. Enable server-side encryption, SSE, for compliance. Dead letter queues, DLQs. Capture failed messages for troubleshooting. Amazon SNS, simple notification service. Overview. 1. Pub/sub messaging for fan-out architecture. 2. Supports multiple protocols. Lambda, SQS, HTTP, email, SMS. DevOps must know. CLI commands. AWS SNS create topic name my topic. AWS SNS subscribe topic ARN. AWS SNS. Protocol Lambda notification endpoint ARN. AWS Lambda. AWS SNS publish topic ARN. AWS SNS. Message hello integrations. 1. Fan-out pattern, SNS then multiple SQS/Lambdas. 2. Used for alerts, event delivery, cross-service communication. Security. 1. Topic policies define who can publish/subscribe. 2. Use KMS for message encryption. Monitoring. CloudWatch metrics, number of messages published, delivery failures, etc. Amazon Event Bridge. Overview. 1. Event bus for building loosely coupled, event-driven applications. 2. Accepts events from AWS services, default bus. B. Custom applications, custom bus. C. SaaS apps, partner event sources. DevOps must know. CLI commands. AWS events put rule name my rule event pattern file : //pattern.json AWS events put targets rule my rule targets file : //targets.json AWS events put events entries file : //entries.json integrations. 1. Sources. EC2 state changes, S3 events, step functions, etc. 2. Targets. Lambda, SQS, step functions, Kinesis, ECS, code build, etc. Filtering. Use event patterns to match events. Security. IAM permissions control access to rules, buses, and event publishing. Tips 1. Use DLQ or retry policies on targets for fault tolerance. 2. Use archive and replay to debug and test event-driven flows. Monitoring and logging. Prometheus, a powerful time series database for real-time metrics collection. Grafana visualizes data from Prometheus and other sources with rich, interactive dashboards. ELK Stack, short for Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana, used for log ingestion, storage, and analysis. Loki, lightweight logging tool from Grafana Labs, optimized for aggregating logs with minimal indexing. Datadog, New Relic, commercial full-stack observability platforms combining metrics, logs, traces, and alerts. Fluentbit, lightweight, pluggable log shippers for forwarding logs from nodes or containers. Git commands. Git status, check the current working directory status. Git log one line, view a simplified commit history. Git diff, see what's changed between commits or working state. Git checkout B feature XYZ, create and switch to a new feature branch. Git merge branch name, merge changes from another branch. Git stash, temporarily save your uncommitted work. Docker commands. Docker build tapp tag, build a Docker image from the current directory. Docker run dp8080 app, run the app container in detached mode and map port 80. Docker ps, show running containers. Docker execut, container ID, bash, open an interactive shell inside a container. Docker images, list all locally stored Docker images. Docker rm $docker psac, remove all containers. Docker rmi $docker images queue, remove all images. Terraform essentials, Terraform FMT, format your Terraform code properly. Terraform validate, check your configuration files for syntax issues. Terraform plan, preview the infrastructure changes. Terraform output, view output variables from your configuration. Terraform state list, inspect Terraform managed resources. Kubernetes, K8s. Kubectl get all, view all running resources in the current namespace. Kubectl describe pod, name, detailed pod diagnostics. Kubectl logs, pod name, stream logs from a container. Kubectl port forward svc/myservice 8080-80, access service locally. Kubectl rollout restart deployment, name, trigger a rolling restart. Kubectl delete pod, remove a stuck or crashing pod. C/cd, GitHub Actions example. Inside. GitHub/workflows/c.yml, name, C pipeline, on, push jobs, build, runs on, Ubuntu latest, steps, uses, actions/checkout at v2, name, install deps, run, npm install, name, run tests, run, npm test, run, npm test. Security and secrets management. Secrets managers, Vault, secure, audited, and encrypted secrets management, AWS KMS/GCP KMS, Cloud Native Key Management Services. GitHub Secrets, secure secrets for C/CD workflows. GCP or HashiCorp Secret Manager, store app secrets safely. SOPs, encrypt YAML or JSON secrets in Git. Container and code security, Trivy, vulnerability scanner for containers and IAC files. Dockle, best practice linter for Docker files. KubeBench, benchmarks your Kubernetes cluster against security standards. KubeScore, KubeEval, Kubescape, best practices and security scanning for Kubernetes YAML files. Helm tools, HelmLint, /chart, check Helm charts, KubeEval, /chart/templates/ YAML, validate templates. Node.js, npm audit, TrivyFS, Snike test Python, Bandit R, safety check, TrivyFS, C/CD security, ActionLint, validate GitHub Actions, TrivyConfig, scan workflow and config files, Terraform security, fsec, Checkov, and TrivyConfig, all scan Terraform code for security risks. Static code quality, SonarCube, deep static analysis across 30+ languages, finding bugs, vulnerabilities, and code smells. Cloud CLI basics. AWS CLI. AWS configure, set credentials. AWS EC2 describe instances, list all EC2 instances. AWS S3 LS, List S3 buckets. AWS S3 cp file.txt S3 :// my bucket / upload files to S3. Azure CLI. Oz login. Authenticate to Azure. Oz group list. List resource groups. Oz VM start name VM1 resource group RG1. Start a VM. GCP CLI. gcloud init. Set up CLI configuration. gcloud compute instances list. List compute engine instances. gcloud auth login. Authenticate to GCP. Ansible basics. Ansible inventory ihosts.yaml list. Show target inventory. Ansible all mping ihosts.yaml. Ping all nodes. Ansible playbook playbook.yml ihosts.yaml. Run a playbook. Ansible vault encrypt secret.yaml. Encrypt secrets. Ansible vault view secret.yaml. View encrypted file contents.